Hello everyone, let's learn some German using interesting content. For today we've got the news report on interest rate change implemented by Federal Reserve. We've got this news report from Euronews in German, and let's have a look at this fragment right now. If you want to watch the original report, you can click on the annotation and you will see the original video. For now, let's have a look at the words that we will encounter in this fragment. So the turn, the change. In German you say die Wendung, die Wendung. The turnaround in interest rates. In German that would be die Zinswende, die Zinswende, another feminine word. Interest rate in a singular would be der Zins, and interest rates in plural, that would be die Zinsen, die Zinsen. And another word for interest rate is Leitzinsen, Leitzinsen. So let's start by reading the fragment. Die Zinswende in den USA ist da. So we read up until this point where the arrow appears. So, die Zinswende in den USA ist da. So the change in interest rates in the United States is there, ist da, which means is there. Now let's read from here. Die Notenbank, Federal Reserve, the Fed, Federal Reserve, hat zum ersten Mal seit fast 10 Jahren ihre Leitzinsen erhöht. So the Fed has, for the first time in 10 years, increased its interest rate. So in German, you literally say since almost 10 years. So this part, seit fast 10 Jahren, that literally means since almost 10 years, and very often, or not so often, but sometimes German people would say that even in English, but because that's the way they express themselves in German. Yeah? Die Notenbank, Federal Reserve, hat zum ersten Mal, has, for the first time, seit fast 10 Jahren, for almost 10 years, ihre Leitzinsen erhöht. So the Federal Reserve has increased its interest rate for the first time in the last 10 years. 0,25%. Let's start reading from here. Yeah? 0,25%. So by 0.25%. So auf 0,25% bis 0,5%. So it has increased its interest rate by 0.25% all the way to 0.5%. So from 0.25% to 0.5%. Let's read this again in German. 0,25% auf 0,25% bis 0,5% und beendet damit das Kapitel Finanzkrise. And with that, it ends the financial crisis chapter. Das Kapitel, which means the chapter, Finanzkrise, financial crisis. And by doing that, by increasing the interest rate, the Federal Reserve ends the chapter financial crisis und beendet damit das Kapitel Finanzkrise. Sie will die Zinsen stufenweise weiter anheben. Now we are reading right here where the arrow appears. Sie will die Zinsen stufenweise weiter anheben. So she, in German the bank is the feminine word, so she referring to the bank. Sie will die Zinsen stufenweise weiter anheben. So the bank will increase interest rates gradually further, weiter, even weiter anheben, to further increase. Die Zinsen stufenweise means gradually. So the bank will gradually increase interest rates. Maßstab sei dabei von allem die Inflationsrate. And the scale will depend, first of all, on the first and foremost on the inflation rate. So let's have a look at that again. Maßstab sei dabei vor allem die Inflationsrate. Sie hatte zuletzt den Zielwert 2% noch nicht erreicht. So let's start again from here. Sie hatte zuletzt den Zielwert 2% noch nicht erreicht. So it's, according to the recent evidence, lately, a simple way to put it, lately it hasn't reached the mark of 2%. So the sie, now it means she, referring to the inflation rate. So Inflationsrate, that's the feminine word. And the next sentence we start with right here. Sie hatte zuletzt den Zielwert 2% noch nicht erreicht. So lately it hasn't reached the mark of 2%. Okay, let's have a look at the other words that we have encountered. So stufenweise means gradually. Stufenweise. Right there, where we saw the word. Sie will die Zinsen stufenweise weiter anheben. Stufenweise, gradually. And inflation rate, Inflationsrate. Inflationsrate. So once again, you can click on the annotation and take a look at the fragment by Euronews and watch the original version. Thanks very much, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.